is all is well. Just checking some things. Cool. Yeah, my life seems to be a bit out of sync. I'm just keeping track of things, making sure everything is where it should be. Hey! Hope you guys are cool. Hope you guys are wonderful today. This is Yazat, artist and author. We're back again. Hope you all are having a great time, having a great day today. So, hope all is well with you. And you guys are having the best of the best, wherever you are. And I'm happy to be here again with you guys to continue what this is. And basically, I'm not sure if I'll be online for too long today, but like I said before, I'll try and finish this today. So let's get stuck into that and move on from there. So hope you guys are cool. My name is Yazat as an author, in case you're just joining me. Just making sure everything is what it should be. That looks good. So without further ado, let's get to it. So basically, I was drawing this last week. I was supposed to conclude it last week, but my software crashed. So it's like it's never happened before. But basically, it crashed, so I have to redo what I did last time. So I'm basically going to do some God rays in the characters. I'll still do some work on this offline, but I'm just going to try and finish this off today. Maybe I'll do a sketch today, and then when I'm done with the sketch, I'll call it today. I have a few things I need to handle. You guys are very important to me, so that's why I'm here now. So I hope everything is well with you. Hope you guys are having the greatest time ever being here, because this is the best life on the planet. So basically, I'm happy to have you guys here, and I'm gonna get right down to business. Let's get down to business. So let's see. Let me see what I'm gonna do next. I have my layer selected. I created a layer called God Rays instead of my previous layer. I had this on the raised layer before, my previous drawing, the previous rendition of the God Rays, but it wasn't saved, so I want to try and do it again. Hopefully I'll try and do it properly this time. Last time I wasn't really happy with it in any case, so I think everything happens for a reason. I thank God for another wonderful day. So hope you guys are great. Don't forget to give your life to Christ if you haven't, because these are the last days. That's the best, route for you to take. So you do that and you see that your life will change. Thank you for being here today. Please make sure that you talk in. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat. Don't forget to visit my website, which is yazat.me. Let me know how you feel. Alright, so let's start this off. Oh, my chosen a different color for some reason. I don't know why. I think I must have selected alt instead of doing the wrong thing. Instead of doing the right thing. So let's try this now. It's not tapering the way I want it to taper, so let's try that again. I don't want it to be one size, I want it to be, that's not very straight.
The silhouette's burning, embers rising high.
I'm gonna keep doing this till we get it right.
The flame won't die.
I think I have the right brush. Yeah, to be on my Surgeon brush. It's a great brush to have for this. Okay, that's a bit decent for this one. Yeah, so I need to make sure I'm doing it from the angle of the sun this time, like last time. I lost my concentration, I think. Much better.
Barely scratching the surface. This obsession of mine is fueling the furnace. I'm up all night
Oh, yep, so we keep doing this to get it right. One more should be in order. Make sure I can get this. Look at this. Yeah. Not exactly what I wanted, but we can deal with that in any case.
Started as a whisper, message from a new world I did not know. Something about it felt like I've been waiting my whole life. Is this home?
Making sure I can save this. I move ahead. Yay, it saved successfully this time. Yay. I know I always seem to forget to save while I'm drawing it. Thankfully, I didn't have the same issue. So let's check what next. So I'm gonna try something now. I'm gonna change my blend mode to something else. So that's an overlay now. And it looks fairly cool.
I can't help but think that it's meant to be, that I'm finally right where I'm supposed to. If I let you into the secret, would you listen? I can hear.
The overlay is a decent one to use. There's something else I used before. I can't seem to remember. It was pretty good. Never blend mode. I can't remember what it is, to be honest. Well, I'll go through my previous work and see. I did have rays in that one as well. I did love the rays. I did that in post my life, but I'm doing this one on the live. So this one, I think we have a decent look here. I don't have to do very much else. I think I might use the same one for the other layer for the halo on the characters. I don't know if I did a halo. I don't know if it accepted the halo. I think it did. I do love to do halos. Makes it look super dreamy. Right, so I'm going to select my other layer that has the halo effect around the characters. I'm going to select the same blend mode, which is the overlay blend mode. And that looks about decent. I'll just say so myself. As you can see, you guys are here when I do this. If you haven't seen my previous stream, it's still available on Twitch in the past episodes, so feel free to go through and watch it. At the very end, you see how I get this look and everything. It's not rocket science. I just literally just picked up my brush. I started coloring, but when you understand what you want and what you're looking for, then you know how to achieve it in your art, right? So that's pretty much what I was trying to show, and this is pretty much what I was trying to do last week before I called it a day. I was unable to finish doing it last week, so I get to finish it off this week. I didn't want to have to keep on this piece online. I was thinking about doing it offline, but I was like, let me just do this online and just finish the rest online, because you guys saw pretty much what I was trying to do, so you had every inkling of what I was going to do, so there was no need for me to come back on here and finish up this, but I just said let me just do it in case for those people that want to see me do it live. So here we are. It's finished, more or less. Things of note I typically could add maybe in post is like a glow effect on the sun, glow effect on the characters, where there's a reflection. Sorry, where there is the shine of the sun on the characters. I would definitely work on saturation, brightness, contrast, shadows, highlights. But also do some color grading as well. I just like to mess with stuff like that. So if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know. Because I don't have that much feedback on this. So if there's any feedback on it, let me know what you think. Any questions you have on it, let me know what you think so I can answer those questions. That's what I'm here for, right? Here to help in my own little way. So this piece is pretty much done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this particular piece, because I'm moving on to something else now. But I've already ended the live at this point because, yeah, this is kind of done. I don't like to jump from piece to piece, but let's see. What was the first time? I guess. Let me see if I can open up something I prepared. And I can close this one. I'm sure my software is acting kind of weird, but I'm going to close this one, and I'm going to expand this one. So I'm going to do, this is another portrait. I've done landscape twice, and this is my second portrait, so it's kind of 4 for 4 now. This is my fourth piece on Twitch. And thank God I was able to get to this point. I didn't think I would get to this point, but by God's mercy, everything is possible, and the Most High. So basically, I'm thinking what to draw now, because whenever I do portraits, it's about characters. I could also do portraits and make it about scenery, but at the end of the day, it depends on what I'm trying to draw. So I'm not trying to think What do I draw now? Something I think I wanted to draw for a minute, but I never got around to it. But getting around to it now. I'm sure you guys start to recognize the kind of theme to my drawings, but you guys are very smart people, so I'm sure you figure it out. Feel free to go on my website to check out my novel. It's a horror series. It's called German Saga. Amazing story, amazing characters, amazing prose. It's about horror, as you can tell. It's yeah, it's something that is obviously not for everybody, but you'd be surprised. You know, if you're not a horror guy, you could just buy it and drop the horror sections. I'm sure you still enjoy it. Basically, yeah, that's my novel, and it's on the website. Other books I have coming out soon. You know, keep a lookout for that. I'm not gonna I keep my mouth I keep my mouth closed on certain things that I'm gonna do, but well, just know that I'll keep you abreast of everything in my lives and everywhere else. So let me think. I'm gonna go get my sketcher brush, my 2B pencil. I like the 2B pencil. It's pretty good for sketching, even though the sketcher brush is like my go-to for detailing. But I like the 2B brush. The 2B, yeah, it's a brush, but it's supposed to be a pencil. It simulates a pencil. So I'm gonna use that. By the by, I'm using Corel Painter. So just in case you wanted to know, but you don't have to use Corel Painter to follow what I'm doing. So just to let you know before I start anything, I'm here to let people know that you can be a digital artist. If I can do it, any of you can do it. It's something that anybody can do if you so choose. You shouldn't feel like, oh, it's the domain of a specialist and stuff. As you can see, I'm just a regular guy who just draws, you know. I tend to be maybe the only guy drawing dark-skinned characters on Twitch, but my point is that basically you can do a lot of stuff on digital. You can do it. You can just open it up and just doodle, you know, just do what you want. But you can just draw some serious stuff. As you can see, you can do it with any software. All the software, they all have, you know, blend modes. They typically will have blend modes. They typically will have layer management. They typically will have different kinds of brushes, airbrushes, markers, pens, pencils. They would have all this stuff at your disposal, so you'll be able to use whatever you think you need. If you're very specific on things like a traditional user, and this is another set of people I tend to do this for, to let them know that it's possible for you as a traditional user to use digital media to draw your stuff, and I'm pretty sure you have, but you should keep at it. You know, as I say, if you want to break through at something, you have to keep at it. So you have to believe in what you're doing and being consistent. If you're doing your traditional media, you can just devote maybe one day to working on digital every week. If you're someone who works on it like on a daily basis or half a day, you know. So just get the hang of it. Anyone can do it if I can do it, you know. So just get stuck in, just go ham basically, and do what you want to do in terms of, like, you know, these art pieces. You know, and just pray for guidance, you know, pray for God's blessing, pray for grace. That's what I do, you know. So I have the means I have the drive to do this and to be consistent enough to be able to get to being here, you know. So I'm just thinking what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to check my blacks. So usually when I start my pieces, I tend to go to my browns and go to my blacks, even though it's just a sketch. So I'm going to make a sketch layer. Let's do that now. I'm going to name it sketch. So I typically would name it sketch or sketching. So I have a rough idea how much of my canvas I'm going to take up in my painting. When I do this, I also know how to start off my drawing. It's very important to know. Very important to know where your drawing is going to go. Key things for the head to be here. Head to be here. here and here. Should be good. I think a bit more side on. Better. Background here, I'm not sure if I'll draw a background. We still have been doing backgrounds a lot. I might do a background, right? Try and figure out what sort of background I would do. What do you think would be a good background here? Would be abstract be better, or drawing something? Because a lot of times I do abstract and it's like maybe abstract might be a bit of a cop out. Rather than doing abstract, maybe better for me to just do something that's compelling in the back. I don't know. Also, the characters may seem to be a bit too big. Or they show a bit more of what they're wearing. But having said that, I do want to do a bit more detail in here, because I've been drawing a lot of stuff where their faces are small and kind of hard to draw their facial expressions and so on. So I want something a bit more compelling. It should make a lot of noise. So yeah, I'm just thinking. Maybe I will get that fine line when I do my drawing. That's what I ought to do now. So let's go drawing. Let me try and figure it out there. I have a rough idea what I want, so I think I'm beginning to see what I want to do, so that's a good sign, I guess. Yeah, I need to make this lighter. Okay, you have a better idea now. I'd love to make it light because now I can see clearly what I'm supposed to be doing. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me know what you think. Let me know what it is that you would like to see. So I'm just trying to draw what I can draw in. I'm giving too much away. I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. I'm not sure if this is the angle I want, to be honest. I don't think this is the angle I want, to be honest.
Hey, so this is a little awkward. Things haven't really been working out as well between us, and I think it's time for both of us to kind of just move forward.
Oh, thank God I'm drawing straight lines today. This is a bit too high. Okay. I'm gonna cut that way actually. Let's make it this way.
I'm cutting dice.
I think the hand would be a bit too high up.
There was a time you could be mine. Before all that you put me through, I knew that you were trouble, but I let that you were bad. I'm living in this bubble and it makes you so mad. You can say hello, but I don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like. You can watch me go, 'cause I don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like. You can say hello, but I don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like. You can watch me go, 'cause I don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like me. Don't need you to like me.
Yeah, make it silent. Okay.
You can say hello, but I don't need you to like me.
I haven't really figured it out yet.
You can watch me go, 'cause I don't need you
What do you think I'm doing? Drawing two young people. Okay, so I think I have a rough idea what I'm doing now. I think Han is decent where it is. So I try to draw scenes that I think a lot of us don't experience enough of. It sounds funny, but that's just the sad reality is that a lot of us already have, that many experiences where people, show the level of care that we would like. Obviously, you have to lead by example, right? Yeah. So that is the ideal situation. Lead by example.
If you wanna be a wonder, baby, come and show it. Tell me what you feel in your heart and your soul. There's nothing I would take for granted. With me, we'll make it through. Takes two hearts to fix heartbreak. We grew apart, I made a mistake, but I'll try to make it up to you, my darling. Ooh.
I think I don't need the background anymore. Get rid of the sketch. Let's focus on drawing and clean it up. So as you can see, these are my this is where the comic skills come in. When it comes to sketching, you have to visualize. When I say visualize, I use that term loosely. I mean you have to let the things in or whatever. You just basically just allow yourself to think about this, what you want. Try and think in your head about what makes sense for your scene. I don't seem to have very much issues coming up with scenes because, again, I'm kind of like a story guy, so stories for me are very compelling. So I love to do stories. So the way I draw is I always look in the way of a story, like I'm drawing a story, and that's kind of how my drawing style tends to go. That's why I teach. So if you're going to be an artist, rather than you just drawing random flights of fancy, there's always that phase you want to go through. I didn't really go through that phase, but there's always that phase you want to go through. Well, I think everyone goes through that phase, you understand, to a certain extent, but it depends on what your upbringing is, what your background is when it comes to your art. So for me, I've always had a very content-heavy background. I've heard a lot of artists talk about how they wish they had the ability to draw characters or draw comics, or is it draw? I can't remember what they said they lack, but it's something fundamental. I don't like that, so it's not something I struggle with. By the end of the day, I can understand what they mean, and the fact that they believe that shows their growth, and some of them try to show up that deficiency. So thankfully, I don't have that deficiency. It's something that's always been a thing for me. So I've always been somebody who has been very big on drawing characters and drawing scenes and drawing stuff like this, and drawing a story, writing a story, because stories are very, very important, and stories is what will draw people to your art more than anything else. discussed it in my previous lives, but I don't mind discussing it whenever because it's redundant. You know, the truth is redundant, so it's something that you can always discuss, something you can always identify with because it's the truth. The truth is something that you can always find wherever you go. So basically, it's important for you to have a style. For me, I have no style, but it's important for you to have a style so you can be distinct from the next artist. Because if you're like the next artist, then what separates you from the next artist? It's the question you should ask yourself. If you are like any other artist, then and anyone, as in, why should anyone come to you? You know, why should anyone come to you? And it shows that you lack self-belief. Or you're somebody who is like a professional who works in a deadline, and you have to have a certain style that appeals to people, and you have to copy certain styles and so on, just so you can have a job. And I can understand, you know, that rat race, that cutthroat world. You have to keep doing things to survive and whatnot, you know. And that desperation is a very, very terrible emotion to have. Desperation is what leads people to make all kinds of mistakes in life that they later regret. Desperation is what led Sly to sell his rights on Rocky. Something that he's still regretting till today. But desperation is something that led Stephen King to sell his rights on It. Other very key stories he has, like Carrie and I think Salem's Lot and other stuff that he's done. And now he kind of regrets it. And you know, these guys, once they get those rights, they're not going to give it back to you because they have nothing. They don't have any skill, they don't have any ability. They can't write a story to save their life. So they're always praying for the next gullible writer to come along and give them a good story that they can milk for the rest of their lives. And those guys literally make their money. They literally live off those stories. Just like with music, there's people that live off artists' music, and they get those artists, allegedly, they get those artists out of the way to be able to use their music, their royalties for themselves. It's the same thing, just on a different level. So desperation is a very, very terrible emotion to have. Something that you should pray against Yahuwah, you know, God in heaven. Pray that you don't be desperate. Never get desperate to the point where you have to sell your soul or sell someone. Because you look down in your life and you think to yourself, I wasn't really that desperate. But I've done things very differently. Did I do this? Or why did I do that? Or why did I go here? Or why did I go there? You know, it's like you start to ask yourself all these questions. And it's like, what were you thinking? So yeah, I just pray against that. Pray to not be desperate, no matter what I'm dealing with. Everybody has stuff they're dealing with. I'm sure you guys have worse than I'll ever deal with, you know, going on in your own lives. And yeah, you guys are still here, killing it, you know. That's basically how it needs to be. You need to really learn to overcome adversity, and you do that in God. That's what it is for me. Pray to God to overcome adversity. And you are not the cause of your adversity. It's basically God is testing you. God values you. And he who God loves, he tests. He chastises. Look at Job in the Bible. Job went through hell. And he was blameless. His friends thought that he had done something, and that's why God was punishing him. Other some people look at a situation and they think, oh, you've done something, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you were not serious enough for your job, you're not serious enough for what you were doing and stuff. Then realize that God has a purpose for everything. Everybody's story is different. Everybody is not Job. Everybody has their own story, their own path in life to follow. Job is just for you to understand that there's things that happen in this world that you might have a hard time trying to explain because you think to yourself, this person was a nice person. Why did they go through that? Why did this happen to this? Why did this happen to that? And this is where the conundrum comes with people who don't take the time to know who God is, and they have a very, very strong opinion as to who our Father in heaven is, but they don't have the same inclination to actually study the Bible and try to figure out who He is, or try to ask Him who He is. And we've said this stuff to people several times, that if you doubt who God is, sit in your house and ask and say, God, if you are who He is. I can't even say that stuff, honestly, because to me it's just very disrespectful. As God has put in my heart to say, I will say that, if you really think you doubt God, sit in your house one day and say, oh, yeah, God, if you're who you are, please reveal yourself to me. And see what happens. But a lot of people say that they do that, but they're lying. And they know. They're basically lying, and they know they've never done it, and they will never do it because they're afraid that God is who He is. Because they know deep down that He's who He is. And that's scary, man. That's why I say you should give a life to Yeshua, His Son, because all things will be revealed. The Bible says faith coming by hearing the word of God. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. There are a lot of people out here who say things about Yeshua and His Godhood and stuff. You need to really go and read the Bible, man. Go and pick it up and actually read it. Don't just Google it. Just literally pick up a Bible, go to the KJV, purchase a KJV and read it for yourself. Not like people stay on the pulpit and tell you what the Bible says. Not like people stay on TikTok or Google or YouTube and tell you what the Bible says. You go and pick up the Bible and read it for yourself. That's the only book I would recommend anyone to read, even over anything else. Over life itself. Don't study the Bible, because the Bible deals with not just this life, but the life coming after this one. Because life doesn't end here. A lot of people like to make you believe that life ends here, and that's not the case. Life doesn't end here. When you leave this world, your life is just beginning. Not ending, it's just beginning. So those people that think that's the case, they need to wake up, realize that this world is just a transition point. Just a testing ground. It's not that serious, guys. Don't let people tell you lies and deceive you, because they will not be there for you on that day of judgment, because you're going to be alone on that day of judgment. They're not going to stand for you and say, oh, I deceived you on that day of judgment. No. That's not how that works. You're going to be alone. You're going to be naked on that day of judgment. It means everything about you is going to be exposed. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll be physically naked. This means that everything about your life will be exposed on that day. Everything you did, your intentions, everything you're thinking will be laid bare. The randomness or lack thereof will be laid bare on that day. One of those kind of random people that likes to do random stuff. If you didn't want to accept the reason why you were random before then, it should be displayed before you. So you start to realize that your randomness is not actually really random. It's just you who thinks it's random, because you just don't want to accept the cause of that randomness. Everything that exists in this world has a cause. It has a purpose and a cause. But because you can't explain it and you don't know what it is, doesn't mean it doesn't have a cause. It's like when you see a certain kind of fish existing at a certain depth. Then someone tells you, oh, it's here because it has this and it has that and it has this and it has that. Well, that's what they think it is, but it could be something completely different. As to why this fish above every other fish is able to survive at this certain depth. Why certain animals have eyes and certain animals don't. Why some of them need eyes, why some of them don't need eyes. It always comes down to the physical, what people can see. The Bible says that what you can see is temporal, and what you cannot see is eternal. So the real world is the one you can't see. That is the literal real world. We need to wake up, man. Wake up. It's not funny, man. It's not funny at all. So life is not a joke. You are not a joke. You are special and you have a purpose being on earth. You're not just some random ball hurtling through space, spinning on an axis at 1,000 miles an hour. If you, 1,000 miles an hour. So, we'll figure that one out. Not the expert in that sense. So basically, yeah. Everybody needs to wake up, understand what their purpose on earth is. You have to know who you are in this world. As they say, there's a fool who are walking chaff, but I'd like to differ on that because only God knows who he is. But also that he will let the wheat and the tares to grow together until the day where he's going to put the tares in it. He will separate them on the threshing floor. And he separate the wheat to one side and he puts the tares in the fire. So, in the fire that burns forever. Basically know where you stand. There's no need for fence sitting. If you choose, right? You stand on your choice. I would like to say that whole 10 toes thing, right? I say it too. Hopefully for the right reasons only. To God's mercy. But yeah, if you want to stand, I wouldn't advise you to do that. I'd advise you to give things a chance and see what happens. Give God a chance to see what happens in your life. Not just throw things away. Suppose say that they knew who God was, and then they changed and became this and became that. And like I would posit that you never really knew who God was. The Bible said that you never really knew me. And God said, I never really knew you. Because at the end of the day, the Bible said that no one can come to Christ unless he draws them to himself. If God says he never really knew you, that means he never really knew you. In your own head, you're like, yeah, I knew God, I did this, I did that. But God is like, mates, I never really knew you. So, what you're saying might not make much sense. So a lot of people need to really consider this kind of things and try to figure out where they actually stand, because it's not a game. It's not a game at all. Yeah, I think I'm done erasing. I'm just gonna add a few extra details.
Cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost, you're never there. 'Cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost, you're never there. You're just a memory on my lips. You're just a ghost inside my head. Oh, you're
Just looking to see where I can add more details, obviously, apart from the obvious. So I'm going to work on some of these to sharpen it to make it better. Liking it, liking this. So I'm going to see what more to add. So all these things I'll likely have to do again. When I'm painting. I think I'm gonna start from scratch. With a mouth and go from there and see how that works. So Dune 2, and I'm not sure what to make of it, to be honest. If you guys have watched Dune, let me know if you think it's accurate to the books. I'll probably do some research into that and see. I haven't read the books. I did see the initial Dune The one that had Sting in it. I saw that one a long time ago when I was a kid. And I thought that one was a bit kind of disgusting, but you could feel that real Dune whatever to it, I guess. There's something about it that was different. This one kind of feels different in terms of like the characters and the impact and what they're supposed to be doing and so on and so forth. And it's like was it this easy for him to get back his throne, you know? In the novel. Is there something about them facing off against the is it Empire? I remember what it's called. I'm thinking to myself, I think there's like many books of Dune. I have a friend who read all the books. He said that his son also wrote Dune as well, but those ones are not as touted. The first two books, I think, of Dune were the best books. I like the definitive Dune. So I think those were the main news stories. I don't know which one the novel. I don't know which one the movie is based on, to be honest. And I feel there's gonna be another part to it. Maybe they want to go further on the initial movie. I think the movie was done in 1970 something. I remember the year it was done. People want to go further. That's where the movie kind of ended. It kind of ended where he got back his throne, and he yeah, that was kind of the end of the movie. But I suspect that they might decide to go further in the actual movie. But the budget has been fairly consistent. I'm not sure if they go that route, because isn't like the only route for them now is like having some kind of space odyssey, kind of space attack type of deal. That could be like the only routes now for them to go. That could be a lot of money for them to spend, and they might not get any return. Because yeah, that additional section might be a section that they may not be as popular with the fans as the first section of Dune. I think the reason why the fans liked the movies because it kind of followed the initial, even though people thought the first movie was bad, the first Dune movie was bad, but it seems like they've used that like a template for the movie, and people are kind of expecting to see certain things in the movie that was in the initial movie in the 1970s. So because they gave people what they were expecting to see, they were like, okay, cool. We give them a 700 again, because they made 700 plus. They made 700 again plus, but they made more money, I think, this time than the first time. That's my checks. I think I was checking it when the movie was out. I don't know if they made more than 700 plus, but yeah, the time I checked it was like 700 and something plus, which is quite the achievement, because for you to come back and make the same amount of money or more, slightly more, is pretty good. 700 is an indicator that a movie is good in the eyes of audience. You look at the Batman, people like the movie and they did decently. It made 700 plus. So that's also the amount of money that Deadpool made. But Deadpool is R-rated, which is kind of weird. And they made that amount of money. It's even weirder now they made over $1 billion. But the reason why I say it's weird because it's not often you see an R-rated movie make that amount of money. But I know I stand corrected because that's not the only movies make, billions as R-rated. You have Joker, you have another one. I think Joker is the other one that made that amount of money. I think that was the first one to make that amount of money. So right, so I think I'm getting to a good place with my sketch. I'm gonna try and complete this sketch before I call it a day today. I'm gonna try also to possibly block it. I'll just block the characters this time. Whenever I'm doing portraits, I shouldn't forget to just block the characters. Not block the whole thing. Like if you're doing scenery, that's when you block the whole thing. If you're doing characters and you block the characters, I just remember that I made that mistake in my last one. I don't plan on making it again. That's how I learn. That's how I learn. Let me see this. Pinky. I should just delete. Maybe not, just try and outline it and maybe use my eraser and detail it. Overall, I think the movie was pretty cool. For Atreides, it was a bit confusing for me anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But I think it died. His dad died in the first part, but I think he was still alive. And then the guy killed him again. The question is, what's the point of him being alive? He's gonna get killed again, So it's like a lot of weird stuff. But it would be nice if he actually found his dad. And then again, they would have any motivation to take revenge, would he? Revenge is a powerful plot line in movies. Really, revenge is not something that's not. Revenge is not tenable in real life. But in movies, it seems to be very cool. I love the love story. The idea of the love story between him and Johnny. I think the guy was taking the absolute Mickey out of Johnny towards the end of the movie. Every time he would do something that made no sense, he would be looking at her. It's like, is he trolling her or something? It's like, what the? I was surprised that she was still there for a long time until the very end when she actually left. I was like, okay. It's kind of weird. Really, really weird stuff, but yeah. I felt like the movie was heavily edited. I felt like there's a lot of sections that just ran into other sections. It worked out really well. It made the movie not really seamless, but made the movie to move along relatively well. So the movie was decently edited. I feel like there's a bunch of scenes they kind of cut out of the movie. They probably could have brought back Jason Momoa. I'm not really sure why they didn't bring him back. But yeah. I don't think, obviously that's like not in line with the movie, with the, what you call it, with the story. I imagine. So yeah, he would have been a cool guy to bring back. He always brings a lot of energy in his roles. But he's a scene stealer, so probably not a good idea to bring him back. I don't have too many details on my fingers. But anyway, he's going to give me a kind of guideline to what to do. Never you draw too many details on a character, you run the risk of making that character look old. So I try to avoid doing that, especially on the face. The smoother the face, the younger character looks. So that's what I tend to focus on. I don't know if you put his face in a silhouette, or basically detail his face. So this is for when I render. Rendering might go very quickly for this one, I think. Let's see. I think I'm kind of done with this. I think I got everything I wanted to get. Okay, I think I'm good with this. So let's go to the blocking part. Yay! So let's do that now. I'm going to use a light shade of gray. First and foremost, I need to set up a layer for my blocking. I'm going to call it, you guessed it, yeah. So now I'm going to select my brush and I'm going to select a shade of gray. Just one shade, not 50. So let's see how that goes. Oh yeah, I'm still using the HP pencil. I need to switch it to okay. I'm gonna use my acrylic brush. That's a good shade of gray, I believe. So let's get to work. So I'm gonna do that now. Now. So let's get that done. Okay, so throw my drawing in front, my usual shindig. Another thing I can say is Timothy Charlemagne has a very commanding voice. Yeah. One of the things I find a bit confusing is what the spice really does to people, apart from making them have visions or whatever. Like, does it give you like, well, in the ironically, right, in the 1970s movie? Let me check something. Not actually 1970s, it's 1984. So my bad on that, guys. I don't like to give wrong information. So basically, it was released in 1984, and the movie was pretty good, but pretty disgusting in some places. You wouldn't know what I'm saying till you watch it. It's not disgusting, but you know what I mean, though. They didn't focus too much on that side of things in the movie. Maybe the movie is more accurate. I don't know. I'm not a viewing expert. Basically, in the movie, 1984 movie, I don't know if I need to say spoiler alert, but basically, I should have said spoiler alert before I started the whole Dune thing. My bad, guys. So basically, in that initial movie, when he defeated the fighter guy, the guy that's for the Empire, whatever they're called, he actually did something with his with his powers and stuff that kind of sunk him into the ground. So that kind of let me know that, yeah, at least, you have the ability to do X, Y, and Z when you have those things. But we didn't see very much of that in this one. I'm not really sure why. Maybe they're going to do another part, and they will put stuff like that in there when he gets more used to his powers or whatever. But I didn't see any indication of it at all in the movie. There was no telekinesis, no nothing. So I'm not really sure what the abilities are for the Dune stuff, why it's so important to have those powers, apart from being able to tell the future. To have the ability to control the love of your life. So, oh goodness, he put his love of his life, his relationship with her on the back burner for what he wanted to do. It's kind of sad. At the end of the day, it was kind of pretty selfish because he was focused on getting his empire back, being the most powerful man in the galaxy, and having all these people worshipping him as a deity for whatever reason. He's also the best fighter in the galaxy as well, because if he beats the guy that he beat, that guy is the best fighter. It's proven. That guy is the real deal. If you actually beat that guy and kill him, then who else can beat him? One of the themes you find with him is that he can't be beaten. So, yeah. So, well, he had those abilities in before he started his whole excursion. He was able to peek behind and take names well before he started his whole squadron. And the first part of Dune, I think, was a bit more heartfelt. Second part was it wasn't as emotional, even though there was a love whatever going on between him and Johnny in this one, which was cool. But apart from that, there was not very much emotional aspect to it. The same dad he was talking about the revenging. He never thought about his dad. He never came up in his head at any times like flashback or anything. Not even one single flashback. And that kind of surprised me. It's like, taking revenge of your dad, the very least you should be able to think about is your actual dad, right? I never saw any scene where he remembered where his dad said something to him and it's like he remembered, and that's kind of like gave him like nostalgia, made him to remember his dad, made him to hurt for his loss even more so. We love our parents, whether they do the wrong things or not. We love our parents, and we always remember them in a fond way. And I never got that from his stuff. I never got that from that movie. It was very impersonal, very stakeless. Like, what were the stakes? What were they really fighting for? What are the Fremen really fighting for? Why did the Fremen need to attack the Empire? Is it because they don't want to take their spice to be finished, or what? Like, what are they afraid of? Like, what's the deal? And surviving in a seemingly uninhabitable planet. Why do they need to attack ships? Must be a reason, just because it wasn't detailed properly in the movie, or maybe I didn't understand the movie. Because the dialogue was very distracting. I didn't really figure out. And a lot of the stuff was in their different language, and it's like I had to read, or at least attempt to read what they were saying, like for half of the movie. It's like it's an artistic choice, and I have to respect this, right? So I was like, very cool. In another language, yay them. Let's get to read it. But when you read it, like the contents of it is not really helpful. So it was like, what am I really gaining by reading this stuff? Like, what are they really saying? What's really happening here that's really, really impactful, really important? I need to know. I have to actually hear them speaking a different language, and just very pedestrian dialogue that they're saying. They all said in English. I mean, better. I mean, I have to start stressing myself trying to read it. Johnny kind of falls for him fairly quickly. I thought it would take a bit longer, but yeah, that was pretty fast. I guess they were trying to I guess they were on the clock. So I guess Paul Atreides was on the clock, so they had to get us about the law. He needs his love interest, like post haste. He didn't get it in the first part, so he needs it like sharpish, like right now. So okay, fair play. Yeah. There was something that he did that would have made her think about him prior to that, But there was nothing really. It just existed. And that's, in real life, that's kind of what you need to do, is exist, right? But this is freaking Dune, right? So you think you have to, like, well, actually, he did do something. He did save her. from being annihilated. So fair play. That was a good part actually. So yeah, I remember now that something actually did happen. So yeah, my bad. It wasn't unwarranted. And I guess like the Fremen are very, very warrior heavy people. And again, that was something I was kind of confused about. Maybe I didn't watch the movie or read it very well, what they were saying. But they seem to be a bunch of warriors. If you look at the first movie, and that guy challenged him, it's like, these guys, they don't understand anything except fighting. So if you don't fight, you die.
Born to ride, Mustang 65, got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch,
Unfortunately for them, it's pretty good at fighting, so I didn't work out the way I thought it was going to work out. Yeah, basically. You have all these rules, you think, yeah, it's really cool because, yeah, you guys are great fighters. So you gotta pretty much destroy anybody you have out there, but yeah, there's a rule that you're not going to do that too. That kind of backfired on him, in any case. Okay, I think I've finished blocking these and I believe I'm done today. So I'll call it here and stop. I'm gonna do to make it. Being here means a lot to me, you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this live as much as I have. I hope you guys are cool wherever you are. I'll probably go with the deal stuff maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But basically, yeah, thank God for another day. Thank God you guys are here. Hope you guys are cool, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. Don't forget your family. Don't forget to appreciate what you have. Be thanking God for your life. I thank God for everything. I thank God for His mercies. Thank God for being here. Thank God for having you guys around. Hope you guys are cool. You guys have yourselves a great day, great morning. I'll be seeing you tomorrow, all things being equal, God willing. Take it easy. Don't forget to visit my website. I didn't talk much about that today, but hopefully you will be able to see a bunch of things that you'd love to see on there that you'd like. The website is yazat.me, which is yazart.me. Just go on there and you'll be able to find novels, books, stationery, all sorts of things that you'd love. I have a novel on there called The Judgment Land Saga, which is a beautiful horror series which you can download for a very good price, in just 3 clicks. I've also got an music album called The 12 Tribes of Your Traveler, available for download for a fee. You can also listen to it online as well. Feel free to do so. I also got merch on the website with art pieces on t-shirts, canvases, pins, phone cases, hoodies, all sorts of stuff. Just go in there and see what you love. What's beautifully designed stationery that you can use for yourself, for your family. You can give it for your kids or for your friends. Recommend it to whoever you want. I want to say thank you so much. Any of these things you get will be of great support to me. Thank you very much for everything, for being here. I really appreciate you guys joining the live, those who were able to make it. And I hope you guys are great and you guys have a great day wherever you are. So I want to just say, take it easy, have a good day. Yazat, over and out.